Welcome to the Profitable Speaking Podcast, where we help you build a profitable six-figure business from the stage. Here's your host, Mr. Web Marketing, Brad Hauck. Do you want to attract more customers and clients to your speaking, coaching, or training business, but feel stuck on how to create a high-converting funnel? You're not alone. In this episode, we're going to solve that problem for you. Learn how to build a high-converting funnel template in just one weekend without sacrificing the quality or spending money on expensive copywriters. By the way, if you're looking to take your speaking career to the next level and turn your passion into profits, make sure you subscribe to the Profitable Speaking Podcast. With valuable insights and expert guests, this podcast will help you create a successful and profitable speaking business. A network of fellow speakers and industry professionals by sharing this show, and hit the subscribe button now to start building your speaking empire together. Okay, let's get ready to dive in and transform your business today with this game-changing episode. So I thought I'd start today with a little story about funnels and how they work and what they can do for you. Many years ago, on my first website, I had a site that sold lesson plans to teachers. So books full of lessons that help teachers use computers in the classroom. And on that website, I set up a form that captured them, offering a tip of the day. Now, in that tip of the day, I sent them an email every single day, and it had links to tools and information and downloads that they could use in their classrooms. Now, it was auto set up so that it just took their email address and name and sent them the email each day. So it was nice and simple for me. Once someone went in there, the tips kept coming out for 365 days. So I basically built it out and then I never had to touch it again. On the website, I set up a pop-up, so whenever someone came to a web page, they get a pop-up offering this free tip of the day. And it worked very well. And the goal was to capture every visitor where I could. I made the offer irresistible, so free tip, lots of information, easy to get. Everybody really liked it and it worked out really well. Now, on average, I had about 1,000 visitors a day to my website, and I found that approximately 20% signed up. So not a bad number. Obviously could be better, and I did work on improving that. On my website, when I was selling the books, I had a conversion ratio of about 0.05. So for every visitor, 0.05 would buy. And so that's obviously quite a low number of books sold based on the number of people coming to the website. But that's not unusual. If you can get a website conversion up to 2%, you are really doing well when you run the numbers, especially when people are coming in cold from Google and they don't know you from anyone else. Now, what I did was, with my 365 days of tips, I would run 5 emails with tips, and then I would make an offer for a book pack at a special lower price than what you could buy it for on the website. And that was repeated, and it kept going. So 5 emails, then offer, 5 emails, then offer, 5 emails, then offer, and so on. If they bought from me, I had the system set up so it automatically moved them to a new list. So they continue to get their tips, but after the 5 emails, they get an offer for a different book. So you can have a lot of fun with setting up autoresponders to do all this sort of stuff for you. And this just repeated the process. So they moved from list to list, the more products they bought. Now, the really interesting thing about having this funnel set up that automatically, educated people and made the offers was that the conversion ratio for the number of people in the list to the number of people who bought was actually 11%. So conversion on the website was 0.05%, so a lot less than 1. And once they started getting the emails, because the knowledge that I was giving them for free was super helpful, the conversion ratio went to 11%. So that is 11 out of every 100 on the list bought. A big difference. So I learned very early on setting up a sales funnel and giving people interesting information and a great lead magnet is super, super powerful when it comes to increasing your conversions. Now, most coaches and course creators know that having a high converting funnel is absolutely necessary and vital if they want to get more customers and clients consistently. It's crucial because it helps you effectively and efficiently convert those leads into paying customers. As I said, 0.05 up to 11%. A well-designed funnel has several stages, starting from attracting the right audience to delivering your valuable content, making an offer, and closing an upsell. It streamlines your customer's journey, and it makes it easier for potential customers to understand the value of what you offer, to learn more about you and get more trust on how good you are at what you do. And it makes it more likely that they'll make a purchase. This leads to an increase in conversion and ultimately your profit. It can also help you build trust and credibility with your target audience, which is essential for long-term success. Overall, a high-converting funnel is a key tool for growing a business, attracting new customers, and increasing your profits. Whether you're starting a new business or you're looking to improve your existing one, investing time in developing a funnel is a must for anyone in the speaking business. And yet, it is the least common content I see speakers building. Why? It's been proven to work in every single industry. I've done this across the board for everyone from accountants to lawyers to mechanics. It works. I'll tell you why people don't do it. Because it takes time, dedication, and effort to build a funnel. The funny thing is, you only ever need to do it once if you get it right. What are the parts of a funnel? First thing is you need a lead magnet pop-up. In other words, something that pops up with a form that offers a special lead magnet. In other words, something that attracts the attention of the people on your website to fill in the form. Now, the pop-up may take them to a landing page. So when they fill it in, it takes them to a landing page. And then there's an upsell, maybe with a checkout, a thank you page. There's email follow-ups. You've obviously got the delivery page where the product that lead magnet, I should say, that they've got is downloaded, along with follow-up sequences and sales pages. So there's a lot of things going on. So let's discuss a nice, simple funnel. And this will be part 1 this week. Next episode, I'll go into more detail. So a simple funnel. Step 1, you've got a lead magnet pop-up that takes people to a landing page. So they might click a button and it takes them to a pop-up, or it takes them to a landing page, one or the other. Basically the same information on either. What's in the pop-up would be the same as what you had on the landing page, which is you'll get this great thing and here's a form to fill in to get it. Okay, nice and simple. You do not want anything else around that. You want to keep it as clean as possible, so there's no other choices. When they fill in the form and submit, you can take them to a thank you page and you can have a video upsell on that page. So thank you for getting this. You'll get an email in the mail with a link and here's a little video to watch. And that video might offer an appointment or a chat or something like that. Or alternatively, it might even sell some videos that explain how to use your lead magnet. Then at the same time that they land on that page, they should be getting an email which has a link in it to take them to a delivery page. The delivery page is where they can download whatever your lead magnet is, or if it's a video, they can watch the video. Now, obviously, when they go to that page to get that is the perfect opportunity to make an offer to people. So you might upsell them into buying something different. The thing is, most people don't bother on their thank you page and their delivery page to actually make another offer. And this is a wasted opportunity. Once you've delivered that, you have a follow-up sequence. And this is where your autoresponders work automatically. And you send out, say, roughly 6 emails over 7 days. And this is done automatically. You don't have to do anything. People fill in the form puts the information in your autoresponder, somewhere like, say, MailChimp or one of those sorts of companies. And then it goes into the sequence and automatically on day 1, straight away, it sends out the download link to take them to the delivery page. And then after that, it follows up over a series of days, every 24 hours or so, with an email to continue on. Now, let's look at what those emails could be. The first one, obviously, as I said, is to deliver the lead magnet. So it's a link to the delivery page. That's an easy one. Hey, thank you for signing up. Here it is. The second one, go into a problem that people face and the solution on how to fix that problem. And now, remember, it has to be directly related to your lead magnet and the topic that's around, because you're building on the information that you've already given them and that train of thought that you've already got them in. So just say the problem is building a sales funnel. The first email might give them a blueprint of a sales funnel. The second one talks about a problem and then how to solve it. It might be, look, doing this is very technical, and obviously most people aren't very technical. So if you're not technical, there is solutions for this. There's tools you can use, or you might be able to hire us to do it. And that's how you fix the problem. The next email is an email where you have a testimonial, and you put a couple of testimonials or one good big one in there from someone that you've helped actually solve that problem. Mary said this, and what a great job Brad did on creating a sales funnel for me, etc. Okay. The next email, we go through and we overcome some objections, and it might be something along the lines of, hey, I know you're working on your sales funnel now, etc. Now, there's a few problems people face when they're justifying it to themselves. And objection 1 that people come up with is, I don't have time. Objection 2, I don't have technical knowledge. Objection 3, how do I know this will work? And you answer those questions. You give them some facts, that sort of stuff. So overcome the objections. You can see how you're building on it. First of all, you talk about the problem and the solution. Then you say how good you are. And now you dealing with their objections. So you can see you're building on this thing. The next email is about changing their thinking. In other words, how you are different to your competition. You might think that this is hard. You've dealt with people before. We have a fantastic solution. It's so easy. All you need to do is fill in a form and my staff will do this, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And then lastly, you've set it up really well all the way down. You hit them with a sales letter for a higher price product. Now, that higher price product might be to create the sales funnel that we're talking about in this example, or it might be to train them to do it. It might be a class, who knows? But that sales letter does it and talks all about it, and then invites them to click a link to go to the sales page to learn more. And this is our last page in our funnel. That sales page has your product and all the information and the testimonials and the video and everything, and the buy now button. Everything's on there, and that is the sale. And this is where they cough up money. Well, that's a very simple, in inverted commas, sales process. And that might sound confusing, but there is tools that we can use to do a lot of this automatically these days. So a lead magnet to go on your website that is either takes them to a landing page or is the landing page when it pops open. A thank you with an upsell. An email for the link comes straight away, takes them to the delivery page where there's another upsell. And then you use your follow-up sequence of 6 emails over the 7 following days. And the last email that you send them takes them to a sale page for a higher price product. Now, as I said, that's a simple funnel. And don't be worried about this. It sounds confusing till you draw it out and you understand that it really doesn't need to be as complex as it might sound to someone who doesn't have a really high level technical skill. There's always someone who can build these for you. It's just a matter of working out what you want on the page. Okay? So that's pretty simple. You're definitely able to do that. The next one is we're looking at a more simple/complex, I call them a simple complex funnel. And this is building in multiple upsells and downsells. The same process, except that when we go to our landing page and the person fills in the form, they click submit, we then take them to a second page where there is an upsell and says, hey, you got this and you want to download it, but before you download it, would you like to have a video, for example, that explains how to apply it? I've shot this 45-minute video that goes right through everything and how you're going to get the best value out of that lead magnet. Now, some people will say yes, in which case you take them to a checkout page and they pay for it. Some people will say, no thanks, I just want to download my lead magnet. And you'll often see this. They have the button that says pay, and then underneath in text it just says, no thanks, I do not want your help, or something along those lines. It's often quite rude, quite frankly. But you got the no thanks. When you click the no thanks, you could take someone just straight to the delivery page if you wanted to, okay, or a thank you page. But what you can do is you can say, oh, okay, so you don't want the video, but would you like the audio for, say, $10 less? So you use a downsell here. So upsell is to the video, which is, say, $50, and then they say no, so you say, well, look, you can just get the audio and listen to that, and I'll only charge you $40. Now, you might think this is annoying, and yeah, it can be annoying, but it's also super effective and it's been proven to work. Realistically, it can be around 10% of people will take the upsell or the downsell. Now, I've seen sites that have 5 or 6 upsells and downsells. So you come into the upsell and you don't take that. Do you want the audio? No. What about a transcript that you can read, like a little ebook that explains everything for another $10 less, and so on and so forth. Now, you go to yourself, well, why would they do this? They started at 50, now they're down to 40, now they're down to 30, and eventually they get to $10. What you got to remember is they're probably running ads, and even if a person takes $10, that might cover the cost of running the ads to get that one email address. Because remember, email addresses in your funnel builds your ability to reach out to people and to sell to them later on. So $10 to make a sale down the track of a couple of $100 is actually pretty good value. And if you can get someone to spend $10 to pay for that lead, that works out pretty sweet. You can do that and set up the big upsells and downsells. I personally probably wouldn't go 5 in. I'd probably just do 2, maybe 3 at the most. But you can always experiment with this. You start off with 2, and then as you go along, add another one. Have a bit of fun. I've never been offended by clicking no thank you. In fact, I always find it interesting to see what they're doing because you can always learn from it. So as long as it's clear where it says no thank you, I just want to download my free gift, my lead magnet, then I don't think many people will be all that worried about it. So you can go from simple, which is just delivery and email follow-up, to complex, which is upsells, downsells, delivery, and then your email follow-up and sales and everything. So that's just 2 funnels. Obviously, you can get into multiple levels of them, and they can become more or less complex. For example, you could just have your pop-up that then takes them to a thank you page, that then sends them an email for the delivery page, and that's it. They just go on your newsletter, and every month you send out your newsletter. I've done that. That works fine too. But if you really want it to work well, go ahead and build in that follow-up sequence as well. It makes a big difference, okay? Wrapping things up, the sales funnel we've talked about today is a fantastic tool for speakers like yourself, and it helps you take your game to the next level. By setting up a landing page and taking advantage of opportunities to upsell through the thank you pages and delivery pages, you're making the most of every chance to close that sale. And don't forget about those emails and the end sale page as well. They're golden opportunities for you to get personal with your audience and really drive home the value that you bring and that they would get out of your higher priced product. Let's be real. If you're looking to grow your business and bring in more profit, implementing a sales funnel is a no-brainer. You're streamlining the process for your customers. You're building trust. You're showing everyone that you're the real deal. With a well-crafted sales funnel in your back pocket, you'll be well on your way to hitting all your goals and taking your business to the next level. Next episode, we're going to break down of each of these steps and look at the components on the pages, software you can use, and how you can make it better for your specific business. Now, if you enjoyed this podcast and found value in the information about the sales funnel for professional speakers, we'd be over the moon if you'd hit that like button and subscribe to our podcast. And hey, why not spread the love too? If you know another speaker who could benefit from this information, please be sure to share this podcast with them. We're all about helping speakers grow their businesses and succeed. And with your help, we can reach even more people. So go ahead, hit that share button and help us make a difference. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Profitable Speaking Podcast. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, please help a friend and share it with them. Until next time, we hope you have a fun and profitable week.